Okay, welcome to the Complete Idiot's Guide to Stationeers. I'm 54 Bear, otherwise known as the Complete Idiot. Today, just going to be showing you the very basics of getting started, and a lot of that is going to be understanding how the game interface actually works, because there are differences between this game and just about every other game you play. Most important point is the developers got the buttons backwards. I'll show you what I mean. When you open up your suit, it seems to indicate that your filter, air supply and air conditioning are all turned off. They're not. They're actually working. In Stationeers, the way the devs have got it set up is the indicator shows you what's going to happen when you click the button. Kind of backwards to everybody else. Anyway, I'm not going to do any building in this one. I'm just going to show you the basics of navigating the UI. Movement is what you'd expect, WASD, space to jump, and that kind of stuff. I've got some of my buttons set different. If you press the escape key when you're in the game, go to settings, go to controls, you can remap your keys as you will. Changes I've made, I've got drop on my middle mouse, jetpack is on one of my mouse buttons, and toggle the hand power, that's turning a power tool on or off, is with another one. That really only affects the welder and the mining drills, usually. Okay, right, let's go back into the game, show you what I mean with return game, don't want to leave the session, what I mean about the interface. Okay, let's get away from there. On the left hand side you've got buttons 1 to 6. You can press 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the keyboard and that will open up the flyout. 1 is for your helmet. By default the game starts you off with a locked helmet. That's shown because open helmet is red. To open the helmet you've got to unlock it first and then do it. We're in a vacuum, which is kind of not surprising, we're on the moon. So it's not a good idea. You can also turn your light on and off. Again, it's another indication that the buttons are backwards. How do I know I'm in a vacuum? Here on the bottom right hand side, next to your little player avatar, you've got your external environment. It shows you what the pressure is and what the temperature is. Obviously 0 kilopascals, vacuum. If you're in a vacuum you can't have a temperature. Underneath that, very useful, you got the mouse compass, shows you what direction you're pointing. When you move too far from your base at night, this can be the only way you can find your way back, provided you know what direction you went in, and not like me traveling around in circles until you die. Underneath that you've got speed, kind of pointless having it there, but it's kind of fun and games. What you'll need to keep an eye on are your vitals. It's food and drink. You can replenish those quite easily. When you're in an easy mode game like this, you don't actually have to open your visor to eat or drink. All the other game modes require that you do. And when you're on somewhere like the moon, you'll need a little survival hut or something with an atmosphere so you can open your helmet without taking any damage. On the right hand side, top right hand side here, you have the internal environment of your suit. It shows the target pressure and what it actually is, the target temperature and what it actually is. Very, very rare you'd ever need to change any of those. Finally, you got the jetpack. It shows the thrust and the amount of propellant left. Now, if I come over onto the left-hand side, open up the backpack, you'll see you have a slot here for propellant. If I take the propellant out, gives me a warning saying the jetpack's critical. You'll notice that's a propellant slot. You can't put anything else in it. All it will take is a canister of gas. Incidentally, you can use any gas. Probably not a good idea to use hydrogen or volatiles as it is in this game, but yeah, you can get away with using just about anything. I won't cover the individual items here. As I said, this is a very quick thing to start you off. In your uniform, you have 2 dedicated slots. One's for an access card, that's only useful in multiplayer, and a credit card, which is only useful, Usually you only get to that mid to late game when you're doing trading. The other 2 slots can be used for anything. You start with a bit of food and water. In your tool belt there are the starting set of tools. Some of them you'll notice they have this little 4 square icon. That means that they have a clickable inventory. Now when I say clickable, I'm just holding down the mouse key to move the mouse, because I find that easier for me. When you click on the item, it will give you a little pop out showing you what its inventory item is. Now with these 2 tools, the grinder and the drill, obviously it's a battery. With the welder, it's a can of welding fuel. You only get this on the cold worlds, because on the hot worlds these are bombs. They will explode and they can relocate you and your base quite effectively. That's really it for the basic interface. It causes some people some confusion in the early stages. Oh, another thing, I've seen some new streamers who struggle with the game, can't figure out the jetpack. There is another setting here. When you open up your jetpack, you've got these buttons at the top. Obviously you can adjust your thrust up and down. That's shown in this level when you're actually in the air. So mine is set to 50. I can turn it right up and I can move a little faster. Not much faster, but a little faster. It's really not worth upping the thrust, because for the most part you're just increasing your consumption of the propellant gas. The thing that catches people out is the stabilizer. So if I turn the stabilizer off, I can still fly up, but I let go of the button that lifts me up, I will come back down again. The jetpack is still on, I'm still flying around, but without the stabilizer you can't hover. So turning the stabilizer off, the only time I've seen that worthwhile is if you're doing an asteroid start and you want to navigate around without blowing through your fuel too fast. Although I can't even remember the last time I played an asteroid start game. Anyway, that's it. I hope you found this interesting. In the next one we're going to start off by building a little base on the moon. I'll show you the basics of getting a survival hut up and running and some of the early building concepts. Hope you enjoyed it. Take care.